Hi, welcome to the Creative Treehouse. My name is Robin Broom and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Thanks for joining me in the Treehouse today. Today's project is a simple stamping project and it utilizes a fun technique that I designed last year called Split 4 Stamping. And I will reference the original video for that under the description of this video. But I usually don't do the very simple stamping. That's hard for me to do, but I think it's a good thing to do, and it really works for this particular technique, the Split 4 Stamping technique. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make all 4 cards very quickly and easily because of the Split 4 Stamping technique. So this is the cards, and I'm going to move those out of the way and we will get started and see how quickly we can actually do this. All right, the very first thing you'll need is a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and this is just the regular basic white color, and we're going to score it we can score it right in half, and then we can also go back or we can, tell you what I'll do. I'll go ahead and do, if we take off 1/4 inch off of each, that one will also work. But let's go ahead, we'll just go ahead and do it and score it right in half, and then you'll have options. So 5.5 and 4.25, scoring so both directions. All right, and I'm going to move my paper trimmer out of the way. Okay, so now we have, and I don't know if you can actually see any of the score lines or not, but there we have score lines, and that's going to help us to know where we are going to stamp. And I'm going to need a piece of scrap paper because we're going to end up going off the edge on this one. All right, now the stamp set, you might have recognized it, is the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set. And I'm going to, in one of my other videos, I used everything including the sentiments on another technique. You'll have to check that one out with the Black Magic. But on today's, I'm going to use the sentiments that came from the Peaceful Moments set. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use almost all of the flowers and things from the Blossoms in Bloom set, starting with the very big, gigantic one, and I put it on the biggest block, and we're going to use Highland Heather. Now, if you've got a really big stamp, you'll want to take your ink pad and turn it upside down. That's the easiest way to stamp a large image. All right, so we're going to make sure we've got good coverage with our ink. Let me close it up temporarily so I don't stick anything in it. All right, now on this one, I think of it as this is the one flower and these are pairs, and that's how I'm going to kind of line it up. I'm going to line it up on this axis, so we have like an X and a Y axis, and on the Y axis I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to get it pretty close to the X axis on the bottom, and once I've got it, I'm going to stamp it and really push it down. So make sure I've got really good coverage. It's a little bit more difficult with the larger stamps. Okay, let's look. Oh, that was great. All right, let me just wipe it just a little bit and I will start again. I'm gonna actually just turn it. We're gonna do it this other way. Same thing. So we're just gonna follow like a pattern, and we're following the axes, if that's a word. I need to work on my geometry terms perhaps. All right, so again, Highland Heather, and I'm going to take it, do the same thing. I'm sort of butting up this pair against the x-axis, and here's the y-axis. I'm going to do it right there, so it's going to be not exactly perfectly even, but that's what makes it look really extra neat. All right, I'm just going to be sure I've pushed down all the different flowers. Ah, perfect. Great. All right, now what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little bit more, and this is where we're going to go off just a little bit. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to stamp again. And this time I'm going to change and I'm going to go to the other axes. All right, so we've been working with the Y. Now we're going to work with the X, and we're going to do, just let me see if I can remember which way I did it before. Let me grab my card and see how I did it. Dun, da, 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 da. Good question. I think I did it. That's the X. Yes, I did it Making sure. Don't want to steer you wrong. Okay, I believe it was this way. And it will be for today. So same type of thing. I'm going to just sort of make it fit along the axes. This particular axis. All right, I'm going to push it down. Lift it up. And then we'll turn it. Do the same thing. Ink it back up with a Highland Heather. And turn it right there. Let's see if you can pull it down just a little bit so you can see better. Following the axis. A good push on that. Terrific, great coverage. That looks great. And I'm finished with the Highland Heather, so I can put it away. All right, now we're going to fill in with some other, and this almost looks like one of those, what are those things called where you smash the ink and open it back up and you see things? Yes, that's sort of what it looks like. All right, now we're going to move on to some of our extra flowers and things. And on the extra flowers, I'm going to make them in Balmy Blue. And let's see, we're going to put an extra flowers on the end here. And whatever we do on one, we'll do on the other. Like that. And we need some right in here as well. And just depending on the placement, they may or may not fit together. Two of them at the same time. That's all right. We're going to do a couple more here. All right, looking good. And we need some here. And this one may be just what I was saying, where it might not exactly fit. I'm going to get the other flower just a tiny bit smaller. All right, that's looking good. All right, now what we'll do is we just need to go and put in our leaves wherever we want the leaves to be. And I've got a big one and a small one. And for this color, we're going to jump to Mint Macaron. Okay, and we'll just see where we would like the leaves to be. So again, what we did on one of the quadrants, we do on the other. Hey, there was a geometry word, right? Okay, and then let's see, how about there and there and again here, and how about here? Not exactly the same. Okay, pretty much checked all of our leaves. We could put in a few of the small leaves, especially for these little guys that are kind of hanging out by themselves back here. And because we didn't cut the paper, some of these are going to disappear because you will probably want it to have a mat on it. But we're doing it just in half this way, and then you can use it with a mat. Decide what kind of mat you want and the depth of it and how many. If you want two colors or just a single mat. All right, we are almost finished. Is that cool or what? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's some pretty simple stamping. Okay, there we go. All right, and moving on, let's go to the centers of our flowers. And for the larger flowers, I'm doing Daffodil Delight. And I mean, this is really quick because this is one of those kind of, I don't know, sort of free, almost a watercolory look on the flowers. And so that particular design it lends itself to being a little freer, and you don't have to stress about all of where all of it's going to fit in there, because it's going to look pretty good no matter what you do. So we don't want to stress. Card making needs to be card therapy. All right, so we got our centers for the big ones, and now we're going to switch and go to the little ones and put this one. I think I changed, and I used Mango Melody for the little guys. Just a little bit different color. It's a different flower. Oh, that's the I just put a leaf in there. Yeah, that's fun. Okay. Maybe we can cut that one off. All right, doing good. So it's not, makes it more original when you have some boo-boos in there, right? Sure. All right, we're coming to the end here. Look at that. All right, now was that easy? That was pretty easy. Okay, and I will go ahead and cut it so that you can actually see what it's going to look like when I chop up the different pieces into their quadrants, the respective quadrants. And so we'll go back to the, on this one, we'll go back to the 4 1/4. I've also cut it at 4 before so that you've already got your, it's completely ready to go. And then we'll do 5 1/2 for this one. I've done 4 and 5 1/4, I believe, are the dimensions if you want to go ahead and cut that before you even score it. That would be your score marks. All right, where was I? 5 1/2. I'm telling you one dimension, and I'm doing another one. All right, and we've popped that all out. Okay, got the card base stuck under here. Come on, card base. All right, so now you end up with 4 lovely card bases. And you can, the sentiments can go any direction that you want. So you could make them go in this direction. The sentiment could be, the flowers can be here. You know, you could even do it this way, whichever. So I kind of like to turn them around and decide where I would like them to be. And then again, I put the mats. When I matted mine, I used the mint macaron, and it was just 1/8 of an inch. So you've got bigger, and so you end up with a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. And then the Highland Heather was just the regular 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So, but for these, I ended up making this one like an 1/8 of an inch, a 1/16 of an inch smaller, like that, so I could have a double mat. But you can just play with it and decide what you want to do. But that was pretty fast, wasn't it? And so voila, you've got 4 cards. So simple stamping and using that split 4 stamping technique, you've got it made. And you could certainly use a mat or different things, but I didn't use any die cuts. I just completely just stamped the sentiments directly on there. But you can step it up a notch if you want to, and just have fun with it and see. You can change the colors. You can pick out another stamp set that works, and let me know about it. So there you have it. There's the split 4 stamping technique using the Blossoms and Blooms, and I hope you learned something. I hope that you're excited about getting to try something new, and I hope also that you'll subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And we're always looking for team members at the Creative Treehouse. So if you would like to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and get the lowdown early on things and discounts and lots of perks for being a demonstrator, then just let me know and I'll make it happen for you. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time in the treehouse. Bye-bye.